in America. I just found this an amazing story. Those of you who listen regularly will recall that a week or so ago, I told you on the air this whole story of meeting David Friend, the guy who started Carbonite. Carbonite.com is their website. It's this product that backs up your computer automatically, no matter what you're doing, and to the Carbonite cloud, as it were, or Carbonite servers. And that he started, in fact, I think I told you the story. He started it because of his daughter going off to college, and her computer was, getting crashed and things. And it's turned into this monster. And he had his what do you call it, technical support in India, and brought it home. And I told you the story of that, but I thought that it would be really cool to get David on to tell you the story right, from the horse's mouth, because he does such a better job than I did. David Friend is with us. He's and let me disclose, Carbonite is an advertiser, a sponsor of this program, an underwriter for our nonprofit stations, a sponsor for our for-profit stations. But that's not why David's on here. David's on here because I think this is a story that every American should hear, and any American who is doing business in this country, who is thinking about sending their work overseas, should hear. And let me just preface this by pointing out, I mentioned earlier, Louise had her purse snatched over the weekend, or lost or whatever. And I called the credit card company, one of the major banks, and I got a guy in India. And who, when I asked, he told me he was in India. And he took all the information, and he had all of her information. India right now, as a country, is debating in their parliament whether or not to pass a law making it a crime. It is not yet a crime. Making it a crime for the person working at that call center for that big bank to write down Louise's name, write down her social security number, write down her credit card number, write down her address, write down anything they want, any information she gives them, put it in his pocket, and then after he gets off the shift, walk out on the street and sell it to somebody. There's a lively business in India of this stuff, and they are literally debating right now whether or not to make that illegal. It is illegal in the United States. David Friend with Carbonite.com. David, welcome to the program.
Hi, Tom. Nice to talk to you.
It's great talking with you. So you tried India. Tell us about that.
Sure. Well, like a lot of high-tech companies, we started with outsourcing our customer support to India, and as you know, Carbonite's grown to be a pretty big company. And at one point, a year and a half or so ago, I was getting frustrated with not getting really the best feedback from our customers on this. And I said, look, backup is a very important thing. When people lose their wedding pictures or their business records or something like that, they want to feel like they're being taken care of in the very best possible way, and that the information is, going to be treated properly. And so I said, I don't care how much it costs us. I just want to bring all of this back to the U.S. Mm-hmm. So we opened up a center in Maine. We have about 220 people there now. And we have completely repatriated all of those jobs to the U.S., and I have to say it's just been an incredible success.
Now, David, if we were to listen to the advocates of globalism and all this kind of stuff, the Tom Friedmans of the world, you must be going broke right now, paying those American workers all that money when people in India will do this for $1 an hour.
Well, I was prepared for it to cost more, and at that point I didn't really care, because I knew we had to do this because it was the right thing to do for our customers. And in fact, we do pay people in Maine probably 3 or 4 times as much on an hourly basis than we do people in India. But the interesting thing, and the reason I get so many calls about our experience here, is it's actually not costing us any more to do customer support in Maine than it was in India, because the 20-minute phone call to India turns into a 5-minute phone call to Maine. And wow. So it's just, financially, not only are we getting hugely positive experiences from our customers, but it's actually not costing us anymore. So it's just been, it's been an incredibly positive experience.
So even though you were ready for a reduction in corporate profits, this actually has been from that point of view, this has been a good business decision. What about, the India outsourcing centers? I get solicitations from them from time to time. We don't outsource anything here, but we don't have tech support, but well, I suppose we do with our message board. But I get these solicitations, and they say, "Oh, we've got highly trained people, and they do a great job, and all this kind of thing." what's your customer satisfaction? How is that? Where was that in India, and where is it now?
Well, after every customer support call, we do survey people, and we say, how did you like it? And you have 1 to 5, 1 being I didn't like it, 5 being great. And top 2-box score in India was about 30%, and in Maine it's about 95%.
Wow.
So, one of the problems was there was a lot of turnover in India, and we'd get somebody trained up, and then they'd go across the street and get a 5-cent an hour raise and be gone. And, that just, you can't do really good customer support if your workforce isn't stable. And up in Lewiston, Maine, there are 9 colleges within 15 minutes of our office up there. So we get really smart people out of Bowdoin and Bates and the University of Maine and all these other really good colleges up there. And, they like living in Maine. It's a great lifestyle. It's a beautiful state. And they've been very welcoming to us up there, and the whole experience has just been positive beyond my wildest dreams.
So with American employees, you don't have the turnover problem that you had with Indian employees?
No, and they see it as a career path, and lots of them get promoted up to more responsible positions as the company grows. And they're a 2-hour drive up the road, so they can come here to
you mean from your corporate headquarters in Boston?
In Boston, right? And I can get in the car and be up there in a couple hours if if I want to go up and visit all our employees in Maine. So, it's much better. And I get a lot of calls from other companies who are thinking about this, and even if their experiences were only half as good as ours, it would still be a real positive thing to do.
Yeah, it sounds like this is a transportable thing. You are leading the charge. Good work. David Friend, the president of Carbonite, or the CEO of Carbonite. David, thank you for dropping by and sharing your story in your own words.
Yeah, pleasure, Tom.
It's great talking with you. And thanks for supporting our show, buddy.